When spiritual people get nasty. Well, hello, my friends, and welcome back to another Coffee Time with John, talking about when spiritual people get nasty. you know, my mom, this wonderful woman back here, she said that spirituality is a personal journey, and each one of us must find our own way. And that means we each must use our own discernment to figure out what we truly believe, right? If we start blindly following a specific tradition or specific thing without actually using our discernment, we're actually becoming lemmings. We're going to follow that religion right off a cliff. And that to me is a fascinating thing. But this video is about when spiritual people get nasty. When spiritual people get nasty. My experience on YouTube has been just a beautiful, beautiful experience. But every so often I get the one person who just reaches out just to say something offensive. And that's okay. That's their journey. I don't get offended by them. In fact, I feel sorry for them because they've closed their mind to possibility. They've closed their mind to the enormity of God. They've decided that God is encompassed by this one school of thought and that there is nothing bigger, grander. And so when they reach out to say something offensive, I don't get offended by what they're saying. What I do know is that if they're reaching out specifically just to say something offensive because my belief doesn't match their belief, then the reason I feel sorry for them is because think about the physical feeling of having to reach out to say something offensive, having to reach out to call someone a name, having to reach out to just literally tell someone they're dumb or something of that nature. What kind of life is that person living that they have to judge and that they're so weak in their faith that they have to get mad when someone doesn't believe as they do? What is the life they must be living? It's definitely not a joyful life because they're looking for people to argue against. They're looking for people to fight against. They're looking for people to call names and be offended by. I accept them and I respect their beliefs. It's their belief. It's their journey. It's their spiritual identity. I accept them because I believe God is love. And that love can be found in any school of thought. But I don't believe it's been monopolized by one school of thought. And when one school of thought says, or somebody who is involved in one school of thought comes at you and starts knocking you down for not believing as they do, that to me is a direct sign for me to run away from their religion. Because their religion is saying that you can't believe anything else. And unfortunately, the biggest offenders in this is Christianity, because of Constantine saying that that Jeshua was the Son of God. Once he became the Son of God, everybody else was wrong. And from that point on, everyone started getting screamed at and yelled at and told they were blasphemers and heretics and antichrists and so many, false prophets, so many judgmental, hateful things. But to me, it's like, gosh, those people must be so unhappy in their lives that they feel they need to reach out and yell at other people for not believing as they do. They're so afraid of not being right that they have to yell at anybody who doesn't agree with them. And so rather than getting mad at them, feel sorry for them. They've closed themselves off, but that's one element of it. The other element of it is for them to be reaching out in anger and frustration means they're angry and frustrated. It means that they are not living a joyful life. They're not living a loving life. They can't see anybody else that doesn't believe as they do as anything divine or anything beautiful. And I have been to 30 countries around the world, and I have met beautiful Muslims, Hindus, Buddhists. I've met amazing people of all cultures and faiths and religions. I found beautiful people in Iraq and Afghanistan. I found them in India. I found them in Egypt. I found them in South America. I have found them all over the world. Beautiful people. Iceland, all the Nordic countries. I've found beautiful people everywhere I've gone. I've also found buttheads, and the buttheads are the ones who don't accept people for them as themselves. And so, in the process of this, those people who are buttheads are living lives of being a butthead. And it sounds like a very judgmental statement, and it is. But they're living the lives of being a butthead. They can't be happy because they're fighting the world. It's like the story I tell when I go to Egypt, and I'm treated beautifully everywhere I go, and have wonderful conversations with all the Muslim people I ran into. Everybody treated me just beautifully. And then I ran into another American who was a classic butthead. And what did he say? Everywhere he went, everybody wanted to fight him. So by not accepting the people of that culture as people capable of love, then he himself found himself living an experience where they just wanted to fight him everywhere he went. Right? And he even actually said to me, "I'm a black belt. I'll kick all their asses." And I was like, "Well, look what you're putting out. Look what you're putting out. You're putting out anger, aggression, and distrust. What was I putting out? Love, compassion, laughter. And what was I getting? I was getting love, compassion, and laughter, and he was getting people wanting to fight him. And so when someone reaches out just to say something offensive to you about your beliefs, stay strong in your beliefs and not let their beliefs affect you. They can be mad, they can be sad, they can be frustrated, they can call you names. But you got to remember, when the debate is lost, slander becomes the tool of the loser. That's what Socrates said. They are the ones who have lost because they are the ones who are slandering. They are the ones who are arguing. They are the ones who are fighting. Oftentimes people will try to get me to talk about my beliefs. And all my beliefs are on the channel openly. You can see exactly what I believe right there on the channel. But I will not defend my faith because I don't need to. I'm very comfortable in my faith. I'm very happy in my faith. My faith has proven true time and time again. And so if you're coming to yell at me and try to get me to sway me or to show me how wrong I am about my faith, you're really showing me how wrong your faith is. Because you're not including and you're not loving, you're not caring, you're reaching out in anger and hate and judgment. And what's this? There's a line in the Bible. What is that line again? Oh yeah, judge not lest ye shall be judged. And I tell you, once you judge, you're judging yourself as a judgmental person. Which means you're telling the world that you're a judgmental person. So what's going to happen? God is going to give you judgment. Because whatever you ask in God's name is granting, and we ask with our belief. And if you believe the world needs to be judged, think about that. You guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Bye. Thank you so much for watching. The John of New channel is solely funded by your generous donations and purchases of private readings and merchandise. To help out, go to johnofnew.com or use the donation link in the description below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.